welcome back to Beyond the Barbell. Our Hannah Robinson, BB Figure Pro, and Nicole Zenobia Graham, BB Figure Pro Olympians. Don't you forget it. Before we get started, main attraction, we are the Texas Pro first. So, first of all, thank you so much to Galvanize Productions and Sheila and Freddie Nadeau with Battle Up Productions, Tone Weatherspoon and JoJo, for allowing Beyond the Barbell to be, out there just category and helping us push our platform so that we are not forgotten. So we're going to go over the top 5 really quickly. Nicole's going to pull those pictures up.
Yes. Okay. So going over the Texas Pro first. All right. So in 5th place, we have Ashley Fuller, who is coached by David Hill. I was actually really impressed here. She came in a lot tighter than first time I seen her this season. So a lot tighter, more conditioned. I thought she looked great. The whole overall look, suit, hair, makeup, she looked phenomenal. I thought 5th place was definitely a good placing for her. What do you think?
Actually came back because in the pre-judging, she was soft. She wasn't full. It was a really good shape, but she wasn't popping. She drastically changed morning to evening, and it bumped her placing up. Because in the pre-judging, when she came back, she could have, if she came how she did in the evening show at the morning show, very easy. Because she has the frame, she's separated, divided, perfect.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then that's awesome for her to come back like that for finals. That's great. Mm-hmm. All right. Coming in at 4th place, we have Mayra Hernandez, who is coached by Jose Cortez. I was impressed with her as well. We've seen her, I think, not too long ago, a week or two ago. And I thought she definitely got tighter from the last show, which was great. Remember we were talking about her posterior chain. I think it's gotten tighter from the last show that she did.
Yeah, always impressed with her. Her conditioning is good. Just for her, it's just really time. She just needs consistently placing top 5, which is awesome because it is not easy. Like, you're literally an athlete. So when you get into that top 5, it's a big deal. So congratulations on awesome placing.
Absolutely. All right. Moving into 3rd place, we have Erica Morgan, coached by the pros. I always am blown away by Erica's conditioning. I thought she looked really great. Loved the whole overall look. I think I probably would have liked to see maybe just a tad bit more conditioning on her lower posterior chain, but from the front, I thought she looked amazing. I think what probably got her here with the placing, as opposed to who took first and took second, I think if Erica's shoulders came up just a little bit, I think that would actually really, really complete the package for her.
I think it's just posing errors, honestly, because she has everything. She's quality muscle.
Absolutely.
With back pose, it doesn't look as out more. It'd give her that more of an hourglass shape and make her waist look small, because you can't really see the top parts of her glutes, and she clearly has them looking at her back pose. Tiny little tweaks in her posing, and like you said, her shoulders. She has amazing shoulders. Posing coaches, and all of this is constructive criticism. We can't not say anything to each other. So whenever you pose with your arms out, like the handlebar, your shoulder caps go away. Shoulders back, which is making her disappear, versus just dropping that arm and whole delt to show and sit on top of the lat. But I honestly only see, and the placings will bump dramatically.
I agree. right, let's get into second place real quick. All right, so we've got Ashley Howells, who of course is coached by Justin Horrell. I thought she looked phenomenal as well. Beautiful conditioning, beautiful shape. Um, I think just exactly what we just talked about as far as the posing is concerned. I think if she would have brung those arms in just a little bit more, her shoulders would have rounded out a little bit more as well.
Exactly. Yep. Only posing errors. That's it.
Yeah, no, the body was phenomenal
That's
overall.
been competing with her for a while, so I've always been amazed by her shape. She's really only had like a little bit of fullness sometimes, but her shape has always been. And then like then a little bit more, and even in the back pose, and her shape tweaks on those posing errors, and like you like you're competing against world class athletes, so when it's literally the drop of a pin, a hair, like a little small hair that's keeping you from others.
Correct. I agree. I think it's just like you said, it's just minor little posing errors. Let's move into first place. Okay, first place we have Julia Waring, who is also coached by the pros. And I believe Julia had a little bit of a hiatus for a little bit. She's been doing a lot of traveling. So, I mean, to still be traveling and busting out a prep and coming in like this, I was honestly really impressed. She's always had a beautiful shape. Quads, beautifully conditioned. Always love her posterior chain. Always comes in very conditioned as well.
Everything about the look, the suit is it was a little washed away. Really see, all the beautiful lines because the suit kind of blended in. So maybe put a little bit of silver in there to make it pop for the Olympia, because that small tiny between fourth and fifth place. I mean, I'm still so impressed and amazed. She took a year off, and then she was traveling, living in hotels. Whatever country she was in, she made it work, and it's inspiring to know that you can take and still win. It still have that quality muscle, the shape, and everything that goes with it to win. So congratulations to Julia.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course, she's stamped her ticket to go to the Olympia. So we'll be seeing her in a couple of weeks. Let's move into the Arizona Pro. All right, Arizona Pro open figure. We've got fifth place, Osiris Trump. Hopefully, I didn't butcher that. I thought she looked great as well. Pretty good conditioning. I think, again, just as we said, it's just a little bit of minor posing errors here. Again, I would have liked the arms to be a little bit closer. Again, that just like you said earlier, does round out the shoulders a little bit more. It completely changes the shape of your shoulders when you actually bring your arms in. I usually like people think of your arms as the frame to your picture. Your body is your picture. Your arms are the frame to that picture. So you don't want that frame to be too wide, and you definitely don't want it to be too close. You want to find a happy medium.
Right. And then also for the suit. So when you're working on, that shape, and it's smaller than your glutes and your quads, you want to do, a thinner. Her straps were thinner, and even on the back part of the glutes, it would have given her more of an hourglass shape. The straps being isn't as small as your, it's not smaller than your legs. It takes away from blocking. So I feel like if her suit was thinner, on the strap part, her shape would have quality, like better lines. It would have showed, more of the hourglass shape.
Agreed. All right, coming into fourth place, we have Nikki McGuire, who is coached by Shane Hughley. She had a great shape as well. Great conditioning. I thought the placing was well deserved. I think in her back pose, I would have liked to see her pick her chest up a little bit more. That actually would have brought out a little bit more detail through the back if she would have picked her chest up a little bit more.
Right. Agreed. Same thing with the suit. The top part of the suit, I would like to see the bit smaller to show off more of the lats, because it's a little bit too much fabric, and I'm not as she has.
Agreed. Okay, moving on. Okay, so in third place, we have Corey Morales, who is coached by Whitney Jones. And, I love Corey's shape. She's definitely progressed this year, seeing the changes that she made from last season to this season. Beautiful shape, beautiful conditioning. She's got some great density on her as well. I thought the whole overall look was absolutely great.
Yeah, so before she was like all legs. Her quads were impressive. All she had to do was gain a little bit at her lower body, and this is exactly why she's getting awarded, because now she's extremely balanced. I've always been impressed with her because her conditioning and her fullness is just ridiculous, and I'm excited for her. Because we just had her on and heard about her journey, and we know a little bit. Just to see her continue out and then finish strong at an open pro Phoenix at that is amazing. Congratulations, Corey.
Yes, congratulations. All right, moving into the second place spot, we have Ashley Garcia, who is also coached by the pros. I thought she looked amazing. I thought she had great shape. I thought she had great conditioning. To be honest, I wasn't sure at first when I saw both her and Autumn. It honestly could have gone either way.
I agree. It's apples and oranges,
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? You had beautiful conditioning, beautiful lines, beautiful shape, and the presentations were good too. So but I love this. I love these type of shows where it is a fight. It's a battle. It's not to come back to watch and see what's going to happen. And so congratulations to both, because second place.
Absolutely. All right. And of course, coming in first, we have Autumn Cleveland, who is also by Shane Hughley. This one, again, how we just said, it could have gone either way, but to be very honest, I was very, very happy that she did get it. Autumn has been chasing this Olympia qualification for some time now. She's steadily progressing every single year, and I'm extremely happy that she actually got it. We knew she was going to be able to go to the Olympia regardless, because she did have the most points on the board, but to actually be able to go to the Olympia off of a win, even better. So congratulations to Autumn.
Congratulations. And I'm excited to see you here at the Olympia.
So before we get into our main attraction, we do have to give one more update on the shows. So we can't forget about Masters, guys. Cannot forget about Masters. Keeping in mind, next year there is supposed to be a Masters Olympia. We do not have details yet. We do not know when it's going to be or where it's going to be, but it is still very important that we make sure that we cover our Masters. So getting into it, getting back into the Arizona Pro. In fifth place, we have Stephanie Corbert. And I thought she looked great. I thought it was a great placing for her. Good shape. Love her posterior chain. From the front, I would have liked the arms to be a little bit more closer, just to change the shape of the shoulders. I think for some reason, athletes tend to think that the front and the back shot are really completely two different shots, when technically speaking, they're really the same for the most part, just minor little tweaks. But as far as that upper body goes and those arms goes, those should actually stay the same.
100%. I love the suit color too.
Oh yeah, the suit color is beautiful. I thought it worked really well for her. All right. Getting into fourth place, Rita K. Villarreal, who is coached by the pros. I mean, man, geez, the pros got a lot of athletes. Justin has a lot of athletes. Shane has a lot of athletes.
Yes.
And you know what? I love her shape. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I shape was beautiful, and her front relaxed shot, she just looks so relaxed, as she should be. I thought she looked really great, and I loved the suit on her. That suit color really works for her as well.
How tiny her waist is. It's awesome. All she needs is time for her back and be.
Yep, a little bit more dense detail through the back.
Yep. Everything else, perfect.
Yep, I agree. All right, moving on. We've got third place, Melody Zita, coached by Justin Horrell. I thought she looked great as well. Beautiful suit, beautiful shape. I think she just needs to bring a little bit more size in certain areas, a little bit more density. And I think I would have liked to, again, see the arms closer. Like, as you can see in the back, the arms are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have did that for the front, that really would have changed that look a little bit more. But I thought it was a great placing for her, and I thought she looked great.
Yeah, same. Maybe a little bit darker on the tan, so that way the muscle pops a little bit. She looks a little bit light, kind of blending in. And I feel if her tan was a little bit darker, you would have saw a little bit more lines. She's conditioned, but you can't. You're looking for it. You know what I mean? Because the color, if she would, I think her placing could have gone up.
I agree. I definitely see what you're saying with the tan for sure. All right, moving second, Osiris Trump. We just saw her in the Open, and her placing now in top 2 for Masters, and this is over 40 guys.
Wow.
Good job. All right, and moving into our first place winner, of course, Miss Corey Morales, who again is coached by Whitney Jones. And I mean, Corey's been doing it. Corey's been killing these master shows. You know, I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing her in the Masters Olympia for sure. I'm completely positive.
Yeah, she'll be at both Open and Masters. I wonder if they can. Hey, that's we'll see. We'll find out.
I'm not quite sure.
Not today.
But now, getting into the main attraction, we have elite coach, Evonne elite coach Justin Horrell coming on here today. And just to get an idea of who he coaches, these beautiful figure ladies. Letty, she just got her pro card. Cherish, that was amazing. Second place at Tampa. Standing against Jessica Reyes. I mean, this was just phenomenal.
Right.
All right, let's bring them on.
The crowd is going crazy. Thank you so much we're happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's with you guys.
Thank you.
I've never been called a main. I've never before, so I appreciate it.
At all. I mean, we're really impressed with your work. I mean, you produce a lot of amazing athletes, and they all look great.
Top 3.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Being debut. Come on, really? It's awesome. So tell
Definitely.
How have you been coached?
I'm sorry, you're breaking.
Cool. Okay, wait.
Say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
Hey, how long have you
Been coaching, ninth season coaching. I started off just personal for a few years, and then moved into just basically lifestyle on for a company in North Carolina, and then eventually moved into started with men's physique, and then kind of going for and fortunately I've been married to a figure pro for over 10 years now, so I'm a little biased and my heart is in the figure division. So
Nice. Wow. How is that? I mean, you're married to an amazing top pro. I mean, Carly is like amazing.
really?
well, thank you. It's she's been a main influence for me getting into because when we first started dating years ago, triathlons at the time, and so I was just a skinny little 107 little guy. And so then one of our first dates was to compete before she was pro at Junior USA's. And this was the time when Keeney were, 1 or 2 years in. And so as I was, watching with her coach at the time, he got in my ear a little bit about me competing too. She's been one of the main influences for me. And, she still is, because I mean, but she's in her own process of changing her body to how she still kills it with her workouts, and she'll never. It's still pretty cool to watch.
That is awesome.
And I will say because then I prepped her for 4.5 years. So, and then it worked well for us. I know that do the same thing, and some other couples that try to do that, but being there beside her all the time, it worked well. So she takes criticism very, very well. So I
Right, and
give her
it kind of helps because I was going to ask you. You're a male coach. You have a lot of. So because your wife is a figure pro, I assume you would have that questions of not being a woman, for a woman question, or how do you deal with situations, clients that have issues with being a woman? How do you handle that?
Communication is so huge in this, as you two, So I do want to, be able to be there, and I like saying I'm like an older brother to a lot of my female clients, so that they're comfortable with certain issues, that are more female related and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll do, but I'm constantly doing my, research, my education for myself, and communication with my athletes too. I think it's so important, and I do. 98% of them are pretty comfortable with coming to me with whatever it may be, and too. So it's big.
Wow.
I agree. If you don't communicate, help, how else are you gonna know what's going on? Because a lot of athletes don't, actually pros, like professionals, think they know, and they won't share certain things with, it just becomes terrible. And I hope you don't have to deal with that with some of that with your amateurs. Like, is it hard, or is it very different with here to how pros act as clients?
It just, sometimes the amateurs are fresh into it, where they're constantly asking those questions too. And I mean, I have to remind myself myself that this athlete might, they don't know any sport or about certain things about nutrition too. So that's just where I have to keep that and not think, oh man, this was a silly question that, you know, a competitor. So like that's just something that, you know, you have to give everybody grace when it comes to, and, you know, certain times when, you know, have some of the pro athletes that might have come from other coaches. Sometimes that might be a struggle as far as like, you know, getting out of bad habits and everything. So, you know, they're making a change for a reason. So we want to zone and make different changes when it comes to, you know, whether it be training or cardio, or it comes to that too. So it's just that athlete has to be open-minded as well to take certain criticism and try.
Well, at least we know you're patient.
Right.
That is always a plus side. You know, I've had clients, same thing. You know, sometimes they are afraid to ask, you know, questions. And I think that's probably the first thing that I always put out there. Like, please don't be afraid to ask me questions. Like, don't think it's stupid or anything like that. Don't be embarrassed. You know, the more that I know, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely. That's so true. Mm-hmm.
How do you know when to pull a client from a show? Because, you know, we are stubborn. You know, competitors are so stubborn. But I like in a show as a competitor, and I'm sure you know because you have one of the top athletes as your wife. So how do you know, when do you know it's time? Like, okay, you'll say, Larhana, love and you have a passion for this sport, but I see this, so I'm pulling the plug on the show. It's your coach. You know, how do you know when to do that?
Great question. So like I always I want to try and stay ahead of the game. When it comes to the conditioning level, I try to get all my athletes in probably about a week out. Okay, and so then that way we can kind of take peak week, going as resting more, you know, coming down on cardio, you know, actually starting to feel if it's not classic physique or bodybuilding where they have to make a weight. So then that way we can start at it in the week. So that's where I want, you know, try to push for that conditioning level there so that they're going, you know, rested and feeling good and feeling energized and not feeling death going into the show. We'll start that process the Monday before. But yeah, I mean, sometimes when it comes to, you know, having to postpone shows for athletes, and sometimes, you know, classic physique pro that competed at Texas, you know, on Saturday too, and there's time, you know, again, open communication. Hey man, I can't get a babysitter for my kids on this date, so we are totally fine. We'll you know, adjust, make, you know, changes to the program, but decision I can roughly tell probably about 4 weeks out from the show, you know, sometimes 3, but because I mean, I have like clients that are doing it and, you know, everybody gets the prep goggles on and like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be ready in 6 weeks, 5.5. I'm like, that's still a long time for your body to make the changes that we need to tighten up. And then, so, you know, I just told one client, let's wait another 2 weeks and then we'll make that decision. So usually 3 to 4 weeks out, I think is good.
I think that's pretty ideal.
Awesome. So you coach all categories, right?
Yes, but
which one?
I don't know gymnastics and all that kind of stuff, so I can't do that. Yeah.
You can't pull and dance. Yeah. So how different is it for like a bikini competitor compared to a figure competitor, if any? Like, is it a drastic food-wise, training-wise?
It depends on the individual too. So I mean, you know, certain individuals are going to have to bring their legs down to a certain point to meet that criteria. So some of the, you know, the running. So, you know, a couple of years ago, like I'll use Carly for example. Like we had to run her to bring her legs down and get them in condition. And so, I mean, obviously you have to take into consideration, a figure athlete doesn't have to have as full glutes as that way, like going into the show, stopping the running and stuff, so that the glutes are going to for the stage as far as when it comes to that. And then obviously with the guys and everything, their size, whether it be bodybuilding or classic physique, and even if they can. I was an athlete all my life, so I look at figure competitors as athletes too. Like, we're going to run, we're not just going to do the basic cardio all the time. Now, obviously with like classic and bodybuilding, in order to try and keep as much muscle on them as possible. So, and then it's just in the body and what they have to work on for that conditioning level. Because I'll have like men's physique guys that I had to tell, you can't train arms are overpowering, and so depending on what weakness.
Gotcha. In prep, obviously it's not just physical, it's definitely a mental thing for sure. How do you help your clients when it comes to their mental?
Talk with them, get them to, I'll share some some podcasts that Carla and I listen to, prayer, like hope, encouraging athletes to get in the pressure and stuff like that too. So, because it's such a huge aspect of prep. Like you said, when your mind's not there, nothing else is going to fall. Your mind's right, and you're feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your mental state. So it's very, very crucial to have that mental confidence and peace of mind, and try to eliminate stress, keep that, because when that's all in line, then the body's just going to continue to respond rapidly like we need it to. And sometimes too, like when you're mentally stressed, like I'll ask my how was your stress this past week? If we didn't see any changes, easy for them, and sleep might be off, then then I'll encourage them to take maybe take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off from training and cardio, and basically do nothing. Just stay off your feet all day, and then they'll usually come back on Monday and be like, yeah, I lost like 2 or 3 pounds now. I'm ready to go.
Oh yeah, been there.
I mean, you're such a coach, and just like you said, being a coach is not just coaching. You're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're all of these things for your athletes. Plus, how do you find balance for yourself? To keep yourself, everyone, all of the things, because you're a legit world-class coach. Now that
something I'm trying to work on and try to figure out myself, because my wife continually reminds me to do that. And during the summertime, when we got it's getting into that time, universe, and then Masters Nationals, and then USA's, and then Tampa, and you're running across the country. By that time, all the coaches I know are exhausted. So it is like, fortunately it was our 10-year anniversary this season back in September. So we were able to, relax. And I, as soon as I was gone, and I was able to sit and just close my mind and come back refreshed and revived, because, I got to remind myself that my best self, I'm going to be better for my athletes too. And fortunately, I do have a lot of good people. They will remind me of that too. Be like, Coach, you need to figure out yourself. I won't lie. Like, pretty much on show days, the big busy ones, I don't eat that much. So they'll be like, did you eat? Did you eat? And they'll bring me food. And so, and I appreciate that. But it's something that I have to continue to work on and improve as well.
Right. But that just goes attentive you are to detail with your clients. You know, you're stressing out over bringing them because you know what level of athlete they are. So, you know, we're appreciative of that, the athletes that we have if you aren't that way. So we completely understand why you feel that way, because you give off a lot of energy, you know, and you're doing your job in the sport to matters, which we definitely are grateful for.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you do it. You know, I have a couple of, you know, prep clients, but to have the magnitude that you have, I mean, and then for all of them to just be as amazing as they are, and you're such an attentive coach. I mean, that's amazing in itself. I really commend you, because just you know, I have a lot more lifestyle clients, but I do have a couple of prep clients, and man, it is not easy.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
you know, obviously questions and, you know, making sure everything's on point and things are working for their bodies the way that they need to work for their bodies, and on top of it, me being in prep, so it's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
For y'all,
And I mean, you have to love it.
Not me.
And I started off a fan of bodybuilding. So it's like, and I still am, like, when I watch every division, you know, and see and study and see how everybody's doing. And I started off a fan, and so I still love it. And it's like, I was an athlete, and so now being a coach of you know, several athletes, competitive fix through them. And so, like, I'm still so passionate about, I want to win. I want to win too. So, and it's like, I love family. And so, like, when it's their show day, I want them to feel special. I want them I want to be as attentive as I possibly can for them, you know, do whatever I do for them. Because you work so hard for it. You ladies know that. You work so hard for 14, whatever it may be. And it comes down to that day, comes down to a couple of hours when you're on stage. A moment for you, and you should feel like that. So,
Wow,
You're awesome.
All your definitely appreciate you.
For real. What are some words of your clients that are struggling, you know, in any figure competitor? What is some advice to tell them if they were trying to quit?
be patient. Don't try to rush it. It's because this world, like you'll see, and I've had athletes that have had success very fast. It's not common, and so it's like, you know, everybody wants to qualify for nationals, and then go to a national show, and, you know, get national shows. That's very hard to do. And so, I mean, the biggest thing, and especially vision continues to evolve, because I think back of when, you know, like there and Stern were kind of battling for Miss Olympia back then. It was as it continues to evolve, which I love. We have to remember that it's our job as coach with it. And so continue to, when you do have an athlete, a figure athlete, that, you know, more size, more depth, more width in their back, rounded shoulders, improve their glute. And so just don't rush it. Trust your coach that you're working with. Questions like we have already asked, you know, talked about before. And it's patience and consistency is such a two crucial words when it comes to.
Right. Because, like, everybody Yeah, everybody wants to build Rome, and so that's the problem. So I'm so glad to hear you say, please have patience, because it is great to have someone do what your client did. Pro card, pro and be a place. You know, some people it takes 9 years, 10, 12 years, but it can happen as long. I'm so glad to hear you're a coach that requires patience from his clients, because there's a rush it, but I'm glad you're not one. So thank you.
No,
Please keep our bodies beautiful.
Absolutely. And that's where it's like, it's important that season too. And because that's where the real change happens. And so, I mean, if you're getting images that says, you know, you need more size, that just doesn't happen overnight when you do. And so, I mean, sometimes it's going to take a year, but you have to take your off season as you do with prep. Because, I mean, you'll have the athletes that, you know, prep's done, show's done, and kind of do my own thing. And then you come back and it's not pretty. So you just as serious as you do in prep time too. And you'll be in a good spot with, you know, your calories, with your cardio, with your body's going to be healthy and ready to go to make the changes during that prep time too.
That is words of wisdom for you guys. Honestly, I mean, because me and you, Hannah, we talk about it all the time as far as the patience and things of that nature. And I'm so happy that we got a coach on here to actually say it. Again, I say it all the time. I hate talking about my process to becoming pro and this, that, and the third, just because of how quick it was. Division, it takes a longer time to really grow or have a competitive physique in figure, because it's such a balanced body from top to bottom. It's not an overnight process. I've known people where it took them years and years and years and years to build that physique, to finally get a pro card, to finally win a pro show, and so forth. So it's not an overnight process, and I just want people to just be more patient with it. I mean, really, the sport is really about longevity. It's not an overnight thing. And if you look at the athletes way back then, really think about the age that most of these people were when they were really at their peak. They were older. So it doesn't have to be an overnight process. Take your time and enjoy the process.
Exactly.
That's key too.
Wasn't until he got into his process. You know, so I'm excited, you know, just to keep seeing and continue to have patience, because patience is literally everything that we need in this. We let you go. Who's winning the Olympia? Miss Figure, who's winning?
That's gonna be. It's, you know,
It's that.
You ladies talking about it all the time. Figure it, and it's like, and you're seeing it at these, you know, recent shows too. Last weekend, you know, it was a great turnout. Texas was a great turnout. A couple shows before that, classes are bringing in close to 30 girls in these shows. The masters are bringing in, you know, there too. So I mean, figure, and I want to give you guys credit for bringing light to that and showing out right now. So the Olympia, it's going to be very, very competitive. You know, trying to, you know, retain her title. And I love Sid. I wish you all the best. I'm not answering that. Obviously, I asked Stephanie coming last year. We're coming to win, but I want everybody to do well and you know, continue to create a community like you ladies are doing right now. So
thank you.
It'll be competitive.
We appreciate it, and I'm definitely looking forward to the Olympia. I mean, the numbers that we got is insane. It's definitely over 30 something women. Even more exciting that there are a lot of international women, so it really will be the best of the best, which is, I think, so cool.
Exactly. So thank you so much, and we appreciate everything that you do for our sport. You know, to advocate us. Oh, Carly, we see her in this division. You know, she still belongs here. But thank you again, and thank you everybody. Don't forget, we are getting more of the crew necks, right? The sweater.
Yes.
So DM.
We are getting some new ones in. They ran out pretty quickly. We noticed that a lot of you guys like the larges and the mediums. So we will be getting more of those in. We just ordered some. We will let you guys know when they come in, and you'll be able to get your crew necks.
Want to pre-order? If you want to pre-order, send a direct message the size that you want to get, so that way we can order the size you want instead of just getting a pre-order the sweater, so that way you can get it faster, get you the sizes that you want. And again, thank you for coming.
Are those unisex?
They are women, unless you really want a real big one. We'll get you a big one. We'll get you one.
All right.
We'll get you one.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.